This haunted house is so scary, it drives people insane. Located in West Hobart, Tasmania, Australia, this house is unlike any other. You might be asking what makes this house so special. Well, over the years, dozens of people have come forward with stories of strange occurrences within this house, including sightings of ghosts, apparitions, and other paranormal activity. And it's honestly not too hard to see why. West Hobart is a pretty old town, and it has a generally creepy vibe. Most of these stories have turned out to be fake, or the people making the allegations didn't have enough evidence to support their claims, which makes it almost certainly likely that they're hoaxes. But as it turns out, at least one of them is true. Back in the late 80s and mid-90s, rumors started spreading about a house in West Hobart that was allegedly so haunted, it drove its residents insane. At first, the rumors created a huge buzz all over town, and the locals did everything they could to stay far away from the alleged haunted house. But months later, the authorities got involved, and they finally got a clear picture of the situation. While it was true that the house's residents appeared to be going insane, it had nothing to do with paranormal activity and everything to do with the devil's trumpet. That's right, there was a devil's trumpet growing above the home, and it was dropping its leaves into the family's rainwater tank. The family had been unknowingly drinking small amounts of the highly hallucinogenic plant every day, which is why they started to lose their minds.
This is the most evil plan ever created, and I do want to say the name of it, because it is one of those things that should be forgotten. The idea for the plan came from a man named Andre Rand, who had worked at a school for children with disabilities. He had a decent job, but he lost his son and daughter in a fire. And then he started having visions of taking children and bringing them back to his home to raise them as his own. So he quit his job and moved to Staten Island and started renting a car. He began driving around the neighborhoods looking for kids to kidnap. His first victim was 9-year-old Olivia Dela Cruz, who he lured into his car by asking her to help him find puppies. After kidnapping her, he took her to an isolated spot and buried her alive. Then he went home and told his wife, "We're gonna need a bigger shovel." He would do this several more times over the next few years, always choosing victims that were 11 years old or younger. Some of the kids he buried alive survived and were found by police, but others weren't so lucky. And for a long time, nobody knew what had happened to them. To this day, Rand still maintains his innocence. But in 2001, he was convicted of 8 murders and is serving 25 years to life in prison. All of these urban legends are supposedly based on true stories. The first one is about a guy named Christopher Thomas Knight. In the early 2000s, there were over 1,000 break-ins at cabins in the Kakapi Valley in Maine. The cabins were always empty when the break-ins happened, and the thieves always took the same stuff: food, cooking, utensils, books, propane tanks, and toiletries. Because they never caught the culprit, they named him the North Pond Hermit. But thankfully, in 2013, a cop finally brought the hermit to justice. He was only charged with one additional major crime in 2004, which was the kidnapping of Holly Ann Hughes, thanks to which he will spend the next 13 years behind bars. If he lives that long, he'll be 93 by the time he gets out. Stay tuned for part 2.